Let's see what Greg Abbott's up to. Is it Nazi shit? It always is. You see this? Pretty big deal, as a matter of fact. Texas House Republicans vote to issue civil arrest warrants for fleeing Democrats in order to block the passage of the Texas redistricting plan, where they scoop out an estimated 5 Democratic seats in Congress and replace them with Republicans. A bunch of Democrats in the Democratic caucus of the, state assembly have fled to, I believe, Louisiana, thereby ensuring not enough people are present to legally take a vote. Now, my understanding is that Ken Paxton, the Attorney General under Abbott, has argued that this could legitimize civil arrest warrants. No, it was Illinois, not Louisiana? Okay, Illinois, whatever. Ken Paxton has argued that this could legitimize civil arrest warrants being put out for them for bribery. Yes, the idea that they're benefiting or getting paid in some way, like they're being rewarded in some way for not attending the scheduled vote. I don't know. Ken Paxton's legal reasoning is bullshit. Ken Paxton himself is bullshit. It's meaningless. Apparently, the civil arrest warrants are largely powerless. Well, that would only be the case if the law was real now. Breaking. Texas House voted to track down and arrest the Democratic lawmakers who were not present when the chamber gavelled on Monday. They will not face civil or criminal charges from the arrests. The warrants apply only within state lines, making them largely symbolic, as most of the legislators in question have left Texas. They're actually on the run. Like, they are legitimately fleeing state warrants to bring them back there so they can get the legal minimum number of people present within the state assembly to allow them to pass the redistricting bill. How will the Democrats combat this? I don't know. I mean, they fled. That was their move. Addressing a partially empty chamber Monday afternoon, State House Speaker Dustin Burrows said he was prepared to sign such warrants as he accused Democrats of shirking their responsibilities. Big stuff. Big stuff. Pritzker's helping the Dems. He's taking them in. We're every passing day we get closer and closer to actual, like, Civil War breakup of the Republic shit, you know? J.B. Pritzker is hosting them in Illinois and paying for their stay at the hotel his family owns, which solves the single issue that made the 2003 attempt fail. Them not having the money to stay out of the state. That rules. Thank you, Pritzker. Greg Abbott has also threatened to expel them from the state house if they don't return by 45 minutes ago, I believe. Pritzker did a press conference with the Texas Dems last night. This is an hour 33-minute video. I'm afraid I'll need a little bit of a sound bite.
Greg Abbott joins us now. Thank you so much. Can you tell us from your perspective, what is the issue? Why did they leave?
So they're leaving, and they've left because they're very un-Texan. Texans don't run from a fight. And there's a fight going on in...
Well, in your case, it's not much of a choice you can make, huh?
In the legislature right now about redistricting as well as other things. But I'll make 2 quick points, Dana, about this. For one, to run to states like New York and Illinois to protest redistricting is kind of like running to Wisconsin to protest cheese.
Would it be unwoke of me to say he sounds like a retarded child? It's not just Southern drawl. He sounds like he's doing an offensive, like he's doing a caricature.
Just kind of outrageous. Those are New York and Illinois, 2 hallmark states that have already done redistricting to eliminate Republicans. But the second thing is far more serious, and that is what these Democrats have done. Just a small fraction of them were needed to break a quorum.
It sounds like Forrest Gump a little bit, doesn't it? Just a small fraction. You know what I'm talking about?
That small fraction is holding hostage legislation in the state of Texas where we will be able to provide assistance and reform for all of the victims of that horrific flooding that we've had in the state of Texas. Our fellow Texans are being let down and not getting the flood relief they need because these Democrats have absconded from the responsibility, and I believe they have forfeited their seats in the state legislature because they're not doing the job they were elected to do.
Governor, let me show everybody here what you were talking about. I think we have this map of Illinois and the districts as they've been drawn. And as you point out, it's been over and over again. They make these small little squiggly lines to make sure that they can figure out the best way to get Democrats there. So that's an example of what you were talking about. I want to play for you this sound from State Representative Gene Wu. He's a Democrat from Texas. Here's what he said.
Yo.
The tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map. A map that seeks to use racial lines to divide hard-working communities. And Governor Abbott is doing this in submission to Donald Trump. So that Donald Trump could steal these communities' power and voice.
I have two main questions. How do you respond to his accusation that you're using a racist tool to do this? And the second question I have, if you could wrap it into this answer, is why now? Why do you need to do this in the middle of this session?
Well, actually, the reason there are actual specific answers to this. The Supreme Court is looking to rule on the legality of the aspect of the Voting Rights Act that pertains to this. See, it is enshrined into national law that voting districts cannot break up minority communities, right? When you're gerrymandering, you have what is it? It's packing and cracking, right? And the idea being that there's a concern that if you split minority communities across a bunch of different voting districts, they effectively have no voice, right? By definitionally, as a minority, they have less population than the majority, if you contrast it. And as a consequence, imagine in a state like Texas, let's say you have 80% white people, 20% black people. Ain't like that, but imagine you did, right? You would imagine the reps would be, again, we're being simplistic here, 20% black, 80% white. But you draw the lines cleverly, and you can make it such that every single rep is white by splitting the black community across enough majority white districts. It's easy enough to do if you're malicious enough. Imagine like that with racial groups, with people's voting tendencies, you get the idea. Anyway, the Voting Rights Act has made some parts of this illegal, and there have been redistricting maps that have been challenged on their legality based on the Voting Rights Act, and the Supreme Court is taking a look at that aspect of the Voting Rights Act. They're going to be hearing its challenge in court. It's getting easier and easier to gerrymander.
Sure. So what he just said is totally bogus. First, for redistricting purposes, it's not done for racial reasons. However, the racial outcome is this, and that is the district lines will solidify the Barbara Jordan African-American district in the Houston area, and it will add 4 new Hispanic districts. And so there's actually going to be more racial minority districts in the state of Texas. Why now? 2 reasons. One is, since we last did redistricting, there's been a change in law. A court decision affecting Texas came out and said that coalition districts are no longer required, and it's perfectly legal to dismantle coalition districts. The second is gerrymandering can be done, or drawing lines can be done, on the basis of political makeup, as in Republican versus Democrat, and there's nothing illegal about that. And then when you look at the outcome of...
They said we're allowed to do gerrymandering. I mean, we're allowed to do redistricting. Jesus Christ, man.
Thank them so much for making this journey. You are on the right side of history.
This is Kathy Hochul. I don't know why. There's a blank spot in my brain. The circuitry of my brain is laid out, it's well ordered, and there is just damage in this section right here. You got it right, Kathy Hochul? Okay.
And you're not alone. Thank you. We are in solidarity with each and every one of you and your colleagues in another state hosted by my great friend, J.B. Pritzker, who welcome you as well. As I said, history will judge us on how we respond to this moment. But here in New York, we will not stand on the sidelines with the timid souls on the sidelines who don't care, will not invest their heart and soul into this battle. This is a war. We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
This is actually heating up quite a bit, genuinely. Far be it for me to give Democrats credit for anything. I really don't want to, and usually it just leaves me with egg on my face, but yeah, it's actually heating up quite a bit. She sucks? Yes, she does. But this is also an existential issue for the Democrats, you know?
Health care to millions of people. If Republicans are willing to rewrite these rules to give themselves an advantage, then they're leaving us no choice. We must do the same. There's a phrase, you have to fight fire with fire. That is a true statement of how we're feeling right now. And as I've said, another overused but applicable phrase, all's fair in love and war. That's why I'm exploring with our leaders every option to redraw our state congressional lines as soon as possible. Our state legislative leaders, Carol Heastie, Majority Leader Andre Stewart Cousins, they're on board.
Great audio,
as are their members. We're already working on a legislative process, reviewing our legal strategies, and we'll do everything in our power to stop this brazen assault. As I mentioned,
here's a good clip from that same press conference.
Redistricting. You know, last decade we did.
Dude, I have to say, by the way, the like real film C-SPAN, almost VHS recording feel that these clips with Hochul have really lends a lot of aura, doesn't it? Like the banal, like light point neutral digital recording really does sap the energy out of the auspices of political office. And this, it conveys a lot more authority, I feel.
We did redistricting, hard to say. Do you think, given this situation where we've had these court battles, everything, that in this 2027 amendment that you may put forward, that the Independent Redistricting Commission should be disbanded or changed in some way so that you don't have to go through that again in 32?
yes. I'm tired of fighting this fight with my hand tied behind my back. With all due respect to the good government groups, politics is a political process. And to think that we're going to do this with a purity test and make sure it's completely fair to everybody involved, the reason we are able to draw the lines because we're Democrats, because the majority of people in this state selected us, elected us to be leaders. And when we say that we cannot use that power to its fullest, then we're abdicating the responsibility that we all have. Republicans take over the legislature.
I'm not gonna lie, it's honestly like exactly what I want to hear. I'm not so cynical that I'm not going to say when I like hearing the things I hear, right? Like it's exactly what I'm hoping for. Because like Texas can get 5, they might be able to pick up 5, but if Illinois, California, and New York like really go gangbusters and start redistricting, if they like commit to gerrymandering, they could obliterate what they're picking up in Texas. 20 easy. Yeah. Like it would just secure an indefinite House majority.
Legislature, they can have at it. But until then, we're in charge, and we're sick and tired of being pushed around when other states don't have the same aspirations that we always have had. And I hold those dear. But I cannot ignore that the playing field has changed dramatically. And shame on us if we ignore that fact and cling tight to the vestiges of the past. That era is over. Donald Trump eliminated that forever.
DeSantis said he's considering Florida, but that's it. That's all they have. Texas and Florida. Ohio is already gerrymandered to their favor pretty substantially. And so is Texas, frankly. But like, I don't remember how much Florida is, but they are more limited. They don't have as many people to pick up on. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Redistrict Kansas? Redistrict fucking Wyoming, you know? Make that one seat more red. Something's gotta break, man. Even if it's mostly symbolic, threatening to track down and arrest Democratic members of the House who fled? Jesus Christ.
We've been talking about the Texas legislators who fled the state, many going to Illinois to break quorum in Texas so they cannot hold a redistricting vote that could very well swing 5 seats from the Democrats to the Republicans, help Republicans maintain control of the House in 2026. With me now from Chicago is Texas Representative Gene Wu. He's the chair of the Texas State House Democratic Caucus. Representative, thanks so much for being with us right now. What's your plan as you sit here on Monday morning?
Look, this is not a choice that we take lightly. To be here in Chicago, we really didn't have a choice. We tried to negotiate with Republicans. We tried to talk to them. We tried to reason with them. We tried to tell them that the public is very angry at what they're doing, and they simply wouldn't listen. This was the only way we could protect our constituents and protect the state. What they're doing is not just politics. It's not just affecting lives. This is going to destroy lives.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Florida has 8 Democratic U.S. House reps out of 28 seats. It's insane. We've let the Republicans gerrymander relentlessly. These states are already district almost to their breaking point.
Says he will try to take your seats away if you don't go back. Let me read you what he said. He said, this truancy ends now. The derelict Democratic House members must return to Texas and be in attendance when the House reconvenes at 3 p.m. today. For any member who fails to do so, I will invoke Texas Attorney General opinion number KP 0382 to remove the missing
opinion number. You know what KP stands for? There's no legal grounds to this. He's threatening to remove their membership from the House. Not just to arrest them and bring them back, but to just remove them from the House.
Democrats from membership in the Texas House. What do you say to that threat?
Well, first of all, I want to say, you know what? Today is a great day to end the corruption of Greg Abbott. This has gone on far too long. The public has been enraged about this, how politicians continue to tell the public pretty words, but never actually do what they say they would do. This is Governor Abbott being upset about that because he's been caught doing exactly that. And to Governor Abbott, frankly, he doesn't know how to read Attorney General's opinions because he used to be Attorney General. And frankly, Democrats say, come and take it.
Come and take it. Do you think he could be successful taking your seats away?
No. It's all bluster, sound and fury signifying nothing.
Great reference. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's not, we're living in unprecedented times. I hope you guys understand how like rapidly this is escalating.
Members, a quorum is not present. The roll has been called and a quorum has not been established. Let me begin by commending the members.
Anyway, sorry. Is secession of blue states from a fascist union necessary evil? No secession is going to happen. This does, I don't know. This does set in motion like a very, very, very spooky precedent, though. AOC raising money with Texas-based PAC to support Democrats breaking quorum. Happy to hear that. I've been reading this whole situation as basically the Democratic governors trying to wrest control of the party's direction, attitude, and narrative from the national level Dems. Yeah, it is kind of a fucking joke, like how little the national Dems are talking about this. They really are useless up there in Congress, aren't they? Like, you Pritzker, Hochul, they're all like Newsom. They're all here like stacking up on, you know, ammunition and beans in their bunkers, getting ready for the great intrastate war. And then over there with the national Dems, they're not doing or saying shit. Yeah, they're too busy defending Israel. State Dems are so superior to members of Congress. Unironically, the closer you get to Congress, the closer you get to Israel. That's it. It's just a big block of evil interests, and the further up you go, the closer you get to the sun, the more it taints you. It probably won't be that hard to get a judge to declare the seats vacant, but the only thing Abbott can do is call for special elections and let the process play out. Yeah, but the thing that matters most is, like, ringing the alarm bell. Because again, the concern here, to me at least, is not that Texas redistricts. They are going to redistrict. We can't stop them. The Supreme Court won't stop them, you know? What I'm concerned about is raising enough of a fuss that we get the energy moving in New York and California, and even more in Illinois, even though Illinois is already pretty gerrymandered in our favor, you know? Minnesota, Massachusetts. I think there's some room there. The only prerequisites really, well, it depends on whether or not you have like a neutral board that determines redistricting. But like fundamentally, you need democratic control of the state government and enough of a population that you can meaningfully, gerrymander. You think the fear of a civil war is just lefty LARP? I think it's mostly righty LARP, if anything. Illinois could be bluer. You can defeat Texas if you have the courage, Pritzker. Yep. The fundamentals of this country, the basic like set pieces of democracy are broken. They are completely broken. And this is basically their death knell, okay? It's a funeral bell that you're hearing. An open race for gerrymandering. Do you have any idea how insane this is? How unconscionable all of this would have come across? Like for Democrats to be saying like, yep, sorry, we got a gerrymander. It's the only way. That map is called the Chicago Mander. God bless him. God bless him. Where's the New York version of this? It looks so based. Also, your polling booth is 7 hours away. Oh, man.
Hey, Governor, just wanted to get your reaction to something.
Jeremy.
John Curran, the Illinois Senate Republican leader, he issued a statement today. He called your hosting of the Texas Democrats, quote, the height of hypocrisy, end quote.
Height of hypocrisy?
You had supported independent map making and pledged to veto a gerrymandered map. He also called the state's Illinois' current congressional map shameless in its attempt to remove choice from voters. He said Illinois Democrats should be focused on strengthening democracy here in our state with fair maps instead of chasing national headlines by intervening in other states. What's your reaction to everything that Leader Curran said about this matter?
Well, let me be clear. We passed a map in Illinois that follows the Constitution, and that is not what Governor Abbott is trying to do in Texas. We believe that the people of Texas deserve to have fair representation and not to have the game changed in the middle of the decade. That's right. There already is litigation about the original map that they put in place. Now they want to change it again. That, no doubt, will end up being litigated too. But let me be clear that they are attempting to cheat. And, you know, I think we all know Donald Trump is a cheater. Yeah. Right. So is the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. In so many ways. And we here in Illinois... I get it. Because he's going through divorce proceedings because of adultery. I get it. I believe that we're, what is 2025? We've had elections now for, the 5 years that this map has been in place. We want to continue to have those fair elections. And we're proud of the fact that Democrats do better than Republicans in those districts where they're hyper-competitive, frankly, and we won in virtually every one of those districts that was competitive.
But when you look at a map that's 14-3...
yeah, but you're talking about the outcome, Paris. You're talking about the outcome. Look, the fact that we are very good in Illinois about delivering for the people of Illinois and that people react to that and vote for our candidates is very different than cheating mid-decade by rewriting the rules because their cult leader, Donald Trump, tells them to do it.
It's what matters to me most, I guess, is that the framing here, the rhetoric be, if they're going to cheat, so are we. Because what I don't want is for the rhetoric to be this like, no, we're not cheating. We're just looking to best represent people. Because that's fucking bullshit, right? Like, they're cheating, so are we. Yeah, it's cheating. In a good system, gerrymandering would be illegal. But you know what? They tried to pass that addition for the Voting Rights Act back in the beginning of Biden's term. And what happened? Republicans voted no. Just about all of them, right? Maybe even all of them. Democrats voted yes. They tried that back in 2021 to make gerrymandering illegal, have impartial, nonpartisan councils decide on redistricting, and Republicans shot it down because Republicans like cheating. They love cheating. And this is not a soccer game where at the end of the game, if you lose because the other side cheated, you get to go, well, it was just a game. And also everyone can see from the audience stands that they cheated. It's real life and we need to win. Why soccer though? I don't know. I just thought of a game. Specifically in my head, I was thinking of Shaolin soccer. When the other team gets like jostled and all the like pipe wrenches fall out of their gym shorts. Go to movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's no moral victory for losing because you let the other guy cheat. Nope. Not in politics. No, sir. There are no moral victories. There's only winning and losing. That's good. I like that. We've got 4 words for Greg Abbott and his threats from the Texas House Democrats for immediate release from Chicago after Governor Greg Abbott threatened lawmakers with arrest and expulsion from the House of Representatives for denying him a quorum to pass his racist mid-decade redistricting scheme. The Texas House Democratic Caucus issued the following statement. Come and take it. I like it. Texas Dems are good at this. Do you have any idea how much grit you need to have to be a Texas Dem? Like, do you know how much shit they have to put up with?
I'm a lawyer. A part of my practice is criminal defense work. There is no...
They probably call her the N-word like every day at work. You know that? The Texas State House? They probably have a tree with the noose around in the corner. It's Texas. They're awful. Texas isn't even the worst fucking state, but politically it is. Like, Texas is a much better place to live than Oklahoma or Mississippi or whatever. But the Texas Republicans are the most evil sons of bitches on planet Earth. That in Florida, those are the 2 epicenters. Aren't Austin and Houston very blue? Yeah, you wouldn't see it by their fucking U.S. House representation, though. No, Texas Republicans are cartoonishly evil. Yeah, 100%.
Felony in the Texas Penal Code for what he says. So, respectfully, he's making up some shit. Okay? He's trying to get sound bites, and he has no legal mechanism. And if he did, subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York. So he gonna come get us how? Subpoenas in Texas don't work in Chicago. He's gonna come get us how? So let me be clear. He's putting up smoke and mirrors. And I'm hoping...
As a white man, I'm not allowed to move like this, and it's fucked up. That's racist. That's the redlining that I want to see addressed. The red line drawn in the sand that keeps me from being able to move my hand and face like that to make a point. Okay? She's mocking me. I know.
I will also say this. I'm a lawyer.
Oh, that was the clip looping. But you're gay, so you're allowed to. I'm not the biggest advocate of gay people shamelessly co-opting black women's mannerisms. You know, I think that there are some ethical problems with that. You know, but you could pull it off, maybe. California's proposed congressional maps are almost ready and were discussed during a Zoom call last night with state and federal legislators. Oh, please. Please, God. Oh, my God. Give me, Gavin Newsom retweeted it. Give me the all blue, okay? Give me that type of shit Sanji be looking for, all right? Give me the all blue California. With every single fucking district. Even in a bad year for California Dems, you can create a 52 Democrat, 0 Republican map with no seat being less than Harris plus 10. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. We would never lose the House again. Yeah, what I want to know, what psychopath took the time to make this map, and I want them working full underneath Newsom. Right there, I need like direct advisory relationship. Make the Republican Party choose the nuclear option. They can't gerrymander as good as we can. Demographically, it's not possible. Leaving aside the fact that we have a population advantage, there's also the problem that our biggest population centers are concentrated in cities. Theirs aren't. We can more intelligently split crack and pack and so on, because the people whose votes we're trying to work around and maximize for are centered in cities. It gives us, we get more of the ability to pull out people in these reliable maps, you know? We have a natural advantage. And true, the GOP have already gerrymandered in a lot of their big population states. Permanent Dem supermajority map. Oh my God. Get Basil in Washington right now. It's fucking beautiful. Can you explain the idea of gerrymandering a bit more in detail for us Heroids? Watch a Mapmen video on it. Came out like a year ago or something. But essentially, yeah, no, it doesn't affect presidential because presidential is determined by Electoral College, which is based on the Electoral College votes that are pulled from each state, and states have their own populations. And state lines can't be changed. But it's about determining like how representative a state's population is as applied to the seats they get. What the fuck, did they use the Great Lakes to draw a connected voting district that is gerrymandered? Yeah! You have to use every advantage that you can get! Why is New Hampshire so Hitlerite? It's just evil Vermont. Look at Wyoming. See, if every state was like Wyoming, we wouldn't have to even have this conversation. Wyoming is literally ungerrymanderable. And the Dakotas, yeah. Gotta tell my kids this was the Holy Roman Empire. God bless them. All right, that's enough of this. That's enough of this.